Hello and welcome to the next episode on financial planning. There's been a lot of buzz around gold as prices have gone up sharply considering all the uncertainty that there is around us. That's what typically happens. Gold prices always goes up when there's a lot of socio-political, economic uncertainty. I do believe that gold should be a part of every investor's asset allocation strategy. They should have some exposure into gold. So in this video, I've attempted to highlight a few of the points which come with it, pros and cons of investing in gold. Do note that this is about investing in gold through the electronic gold format and not through the physical gold format. Let's get to it then. When it comes to purchasing electronic gold, gold ETF is a convenient way to do this. Let's look at this in a little more detail. What does ETF stand for? An exchange traded fund. If you already have an existing Demat account and you trade in the stock of any company, then you would be familiar with how stocks are listed on the NSE or BSE and how you can buy and sell it. Gold ETFs work just like that. They are listed on the NSE, that is the National Stock Exchange, and the BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, where you can buy units of this fund online. However, unlike mutual funds where they buy multiple stocks or they buy multiple securities, here it has only one principal asset, and that is gold. That is the whole purpose of the gold ETF fund, to give gold as the underlying security. So the gold ETF allows investors to purchase gold in an electronic form. But what does a gold ETF do in the background? They go and buy physical gold bullion, and this is a very high purity. So the gold ETF, the fund house that runs the gold ETF is in charge of buying the gold, verifying the purity, storing it and selling it as required, right? So all this hassle is taken out for you, and when you as an investor go to buy it, you can buy gold ETF units as low as 1 gram of gold. So this is a very convenient way of buying it. Also, you can equate, right? If you're going to buy physical gold, you'd always look at 1 gram or multiples of 1, 10, etc. Similarly, the gold ETF unit is equal to 1 gram of gold, so you can buy multiples of that. However, it is important to remember that you don't own the gold, you own its equivalent. So you pay cash for it and you get the value of gold, but in electronic form. So even while redeeming it, they won't send you the physical gold back, but you would receive the cash equivalent into your bank account. As an investor, we need to understand the advantages of a gold ETF. So the first is diversification of asset class. So if you have your fixed deposits, if you have equity mutual funds, you have debt mutual funds, then gold also is an additional asset class that you can look at investing in. So going by the old proverb, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is a very good way to ensure that all your money is not parked in one or two places. Gold always has a negative correlation against other stocks, because when there is an economic, political disruption, or there is typically this currency devaluation, gold always rises. People get comfort out of purchasing gold, so there's a huge demand for it. So it acts as a hedge against economic, and in the current situation, we do require this hedge. It's convenient way of buying and selling gold, because the trading takes place through a Demat account. Everything is electronic. You get an opportunity to participate in the performance price movements of gold without actually having to go out there, buy gold, store it at home, or take a bank locker. Gives the investor a very good opportunity to participate in the performance of gold. Since there are no making charges, no storing costs, no jeweler margin, etc., the physical gold is expensive compared to purchasing units of a gold ETF. And the biggest comfort is that the fund actually purchases physical gold, so your asset is backed by physical gold. It's not some derivatives or futures, etc., where it may not be backed by the physical asset. But it's also important for us to understand the risks of a gold ETF. The first one is called tracking error, right? What does this mean? Now, a gold ETF has other charges, like they have to pay brokerage, they have to pay commission, or they have management fees, they have their own operational costs. So if you were to compare the returns to gold prices and the returns of a gold ETF, the gold ETF would return something marginally lesser. This is because of all these charges, they have to account for it. Plus, some part of the fund is also held in cash equivalent. So, if you give 100 rupees, they may not deploy it immediately, they may hold it, they may be expecting gold prices to correct a little, so they would be holding it. Some part of the fund is held in cash equivalent. So, that is why there is a difference between the return of gold prices and the return of a gold ETF. The second is, yes, there are price fluctuations. I think most investors in India who buy gold, they have very high expectation. They think that the price will never come down, right? And they also look at it in terms of absolute return. Like even if 3 years have passed, they say, okay, I put 10,000, it doubled to 20,000. But it's important to look at the annualized return so that you can compare it with other financial instruments. And gold has a way of plateauing out. It doesn't move for some time. Usually that's the trend. And then suddenly there's a spurt. But most investors rush in after the spurt, and then again the returns of gold plateau out. So because of all this, the price of gold and therefore the net asset value (NAV) of the units issued under a gold ETF can go up and down. So we need to be aware of that. Otherwise, we could be in for a bit of a shock, thinking that our gold ETF never was supposed to go down or give such returns, but it could do that. Now coming to the numbers, that is what is the actual returns on gold. I've taken some data here. It's as per the RBI archives. I plotted it from the year 2000-2001 up to February 2020. The data is not available for March and April in the archives, so that's why I've not shown it here, but the prices have gone up. Anyway, but this gives us a good sense of what has happened. So I plotted 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year and 15 years returns here. Let's look at the last 5 years so that it gives us a sense of what are the recent returns which are there. Now, the way to look at this chart is that I put the years first, then I put the price of 10 gram gold. Again, this is from the same data as before, the RBI archives. And I've shown that for every year, suppose 1 year, that is if you'd have bought in Feb 2015 and if you'd have sold in Feb 2016, you'd have got a 4% return. If you'd have bought in Feb 2016 and sold in Feb 2017, you would have got a 4% return again. So that is how you look at this chart. If we move to the 3-year return, it means that if you'd have bought in Feb 2013 and if you'd have sold in Feb 2016, you'd have made an overall negative return of minus 2%, right? So this is how we look at this chart. Now, this chart helps us to understand what could be a likely annual return, right? So if I was to take an investment horizon of 1 year, that is I'm going to buy today, I'm going to wait for a year before I sell it, then I'm likely to get something between 4% and 24%, because in the last 5 years, if I look at the 1 year category, you can see that it is between 4% and 24%. Now, if I hold on for 3 years, it looks a little worse because I don't get as high as 24%, but it will go down below, could go down below 2%, right? 5 years, okay, 0 to 9%, that's been the range in the last 5 years. 10 years looks much better, 8% and 12% annual return, and 15 years is 12% and 13% return, very steady rate. I think twice it has returned 13% and 3 times it has returned 12%. So this shows us that gold is volatile, the return is not very consistent. There has been a time where it has given a negative return also, but the longer we hold it, the more consistent our return is. And I would say that for a 10 year and for a 15 year, this is pretty good returns. 8 and 12% and between 12 and 13% is pretty high, and therefore this makes it a good investment as well. Now, you may not have a demat account, you may not be familiar with a demat account because you don't invest in stocks and shares, but you still have a few mutual funds and you're comfortable with that process, then you could look at choosing a gold mutual fund. What is a gold mutual fund? It is a fund of funds, that is, the mutual fund house buys into a gold ETF. Why would they do this? So that the investor gets certain advantages. Let's look at the advantages. The first is that you can start with small amounts. So you can start an SIP also. It's a convenient way of investing, as everybody knows, with as low as an amount of 500 rupees per month, or you could start with a lump sum of 5,000 and then invest in multiples of 1,000. So small amounts can be invested. You may have a financial advisor who's tracking this portfolio, your mutual fund portfolio for you, and this gets added into that portfolio. So you can use you can get his advice, you can get him to track it for you, or any of the other platforms also which you use online that could help you to track this easily. The redemption process is also easy because you don't have to go onto the Demat account and list your units for sale. You go to the fund house and then they'll buy it back from you. So this makes the redemption process also easy. However, there is an increased cost of going through a gold mutual fund because they have their own operations cost. So you will have the cost of the gold ETF plus the cost of gold mutual fund. It's not very high, especially because they're investing into an asset. It's a passive investment, as it is called. That is, there's no active management. They're just buying into gold. They keep on buying gold. So they don't have to, buy and sell securities unlike another mutual fund. The overall cost remains low. So it is worth it for the sake of convenience. Let's look at actual data to see whether the cost is very much different or you're sacrificing a lot of returns for this. So I've shown the trailing returns of the HDFC Gold ETF here. The data is from Value Research Online as on date, right? So the 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 year return is given here. You can see it on the top line. Okay, and then let's compare this with the HDFC Gold Fund data, right, which is there below. So if I was to compare the 1 year returns, the returns from the ETF is 46.33, the return from the gold fund is 45.9. So a difference of 0.4%. In a 3 year frame, again 16.82 vis-a-vis 16.36%. So there's a return of there's a difference of 0.45%, and that sort of continues. So the difference is roughly 0.4 to 0.5%. It could be that for the sake of convenience, you are okay to give up this kind of data. You can also look at the returns of the gold ETF here vis-a-vis the domestic price of gold. So there is, if you look at the 1 year return, it is 46.33 vis-a-vis 50.57. 3 years is 16.82 vis-a-vis 18.39. Comes down over the 5 year and 7 year category. This, as I mentioned before, is because of the tracking error, because of the cost which is involved in gold ETF. Even if you were to buy physical gold, there would be other costs involved. So the gold price and the actual purchase of gold, the returns would always vary. But overall, I would say that looking at the annualized returns, I would say that it is a good investment and something which all investors should consider given the many advantages. So I would like to summarize this quickly. The first is that as we've seen, gold ETF invests in physical gold bullion, but allows investors to purchase gold in an electronic form because they convert it into an electronic form where you can buy units. Gold ETF is traded on NSE and BSE like a stock of any company. You don't own the gold. Important to remember, when you buy an ETF, you don't own the gold, you own its equivalent. When you sell it, you get back the cash equivalent. There are many advantages for going through a gold ETF. First of all, to invest in gold and to go through a gold ETF, diversification of asset class, you get a hedge against socio-economic political disruptions, cheaper than physical gold, and it's an ease of trading. Like any investment class, there are risks also. We need to be aware of that. That is, one is a tracking error is there, and second is everybody has high expectations. We need to temper it down with the data. Data also shows us that higher the holding period, the more stable are returns. So it would be wise to hold it for some time. And investing through a gold mutual fund also has its advantages, such as small amounts can be invested, easy tracking, easy redemption process, but it comes at a slightly higher cost. So I hope you found this video useful in understanding what are the pros and cons of investing in gold as an asset class. If you have any queries, please do feel free to reach out to me at these contact points and I'll be happy to help you. Or you could just leave your queries in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Right? Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode.